Good morning. It's Thursday, October 5th, and I can tell you clearly today that we are living in historic times because a far-right faction of the GOP has thrown Keven McCarthy out as Speaker of the House. This has never happened before in the history of the United States. So for those of you who are alive this day, this is another historic event to mark on your life's calendar. I don't know where you stand on this issue, whether you think the man was doing a great job or a bad job or whatever it was. But it was a faction within his own party, a far-right faction within his own party, that organized this throwout. And he was thrown out because he attempted to save the country. He got a piece of legislation passed that avoided a shutdown immediately and gave the United States government an additional 45 or 47 days in which to get their act together and produce a spending bill that will keep us running properly for several years. Hopefully, that's the hope. So McCarthy did the right thing, even though during the negotiations for this spending bill, this stopgap measure, there were many different conflicting views and different things changed along the way. But in the end, McCarthy did what was right for the country. Do we want millions of people working and not getting paid, and then millions of others laid off? No, that's not what we want to happen. But that's what the hard right group within his own party wanted. And because he stepped forward and did the right thing, even though there are many who will argue that he could have done better or he could have done it differently, it doesn't really matter. He got a stopgap measured through, and he deserves credit for that. He deserves credit for sitting down and forming some kind of compromise, although the stories about that are mixed between him and Biden. They saved the country. They saved lots of people agony for at least 6 weeks or so. And he's given credit for that. But no, the right-wingers have him thrown out. And now Congress is in chaos because they don't have a leader. McCarthy was the leader. They don't have a leader now. They don't have a leader because there was a vote. 216 against him and 210 for him. And of course, most of those who were against him were Democrats for whatever reason, joined by the 8 hard-line right-wing Republicans. Now, McCarthy accuses the 8 Republicans who voted against him of enabling Democrats to seize the opportunity to regain power in the House. It's an interesting view, given how many of them spoke out against McCarthy for being the one to be too cozy with the Democrats. So here you have a group of hardliners who accuse him of being cozy with the Democrats, but they vote with the Democrats to throw him out. That just proves to you how poorly this congressional group is. And that probably goes throughout the entire governmental strata. And it should clearly indicate to the public that there is no compromise in the minds of these men who were sent to those offices to serve the country. Because serving the country doesn't mean it's my way or the highway. It means we have to sit down and straighten things out and talk to one another and settle disagreements and come up with plans to unify this country, not to split us asunder. Why? Why has compromise become a dirty word? Why can we not work together for the good of all U.S. mankind? These people were not sent to Congress to get nothing done, to produce bills that don't get signed, to have actions that are taken to keep the rest of the unit at bay. McCarthy took time to point out that Matt Gaetz is not a Republican. He's a renegade. He's not a real conservative because he voted with Democrats against GOP spending bills. And he said it had nothing to do about spending. He said Gaetz is just an attention-getting device. He wants attention, but he really doesn't know anything. And he's really not a true Republican. He's not a true conservative. He's an enemy of the people. And McCarthy was asked about resigning, but he said he hadn't thought about that. But if we remember back in 2015 when John Boehner was the speaker and he had problems, he gave up his speakership and he resigned. He avoided this historic event at that time. And I don't know if he would have been thrown out. I don't remember all the pieces that went into the Boehner story, but I don't think he would have been thrown out. McCarthy says he's going to remain in Republican politics, and he intends to make sure that we gain and keep the majority in the next voting cycle. And he also blames the Democrats in the White House for his legislative shortcomings. But if my people want to hold me liable because the Senate didn't take it up, or the President didn't take it up, that's politics, he thinks. And he said that's what's caused me to lose this job. Politics is what is at the center of this. I didn't do that much wrong. It's politics. That's what he claims against those who voted him out. And maybe it is politics. But good politicians avoid all these things. They figure out ways to get themselves off the hot seat. And one of those ways is to get everybody to agree to some solution. McCarthy can't go around blaming everybody for his shortcomings, or the fact that he was wishy-washy, and the fact that he won after 15 votes the speakership. That doesn't say anything good about him. Doesn't say anything good about Congress either, because they couldn't make their mind up. They'd have no designated leader that was important enough for them to keep. So they spent 15 votes before he got enough to pass. So that left a big hole in his constituency. And he even agreed to allow them to put a rule into place that one person could kick him out of office. Is that a leader? A leader stands up and says, look, I'm going to take this job and I'm going to do this job and I'm going to do it the right way, and you will need to do the correct things to get rid of me. But he hasn't done any of that. So he deserves what he got, and the country got a break. Think about this. He took a job that nobody wanted. Think about that, and have a great day. Bye.